You
Yo,
got me?
yo, yo.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Can you hear me all right?
Oh yeah, I can hear you good.
Excellent. How's it going?
Pretty good. I like your hat, dude.
Dude, I had to rep it, man. I had to rep it today.
Nice.
Boom. This is like seriously my favorite hat of all the, and I've got a lot of hats. I probably have
Yeah,
40 hats, and this one's got to be my favorite. It's just
nice.
the best.
Look at that. Shameless plug.
Totally, totally shameless. Speaking of Los Altos, how are things going, dude?
Dude, so this was our busiest month, man. Like,
Wow, really?
yeah, like we our sales record before we like blew it out the water. It was insane.
Dang.
So
Was that
yeah.
like mostly home deliveries, I'm guessing?
Oh yeah. Yeah, pretty much. We had a couple orders going out of town, which is always fun when just random people find you on Instagram and stuff like that and
Oh, nice.
uh buy your coffee. Big shout out to Howard Vollmer out in California.
Shout
Keeps
out.
buying our coffee. Yeah. So if he sees this, appreciate you, Howard.
Dude, that's awesome, man. You're getting out there a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit. We got some people in Maryland buying coffee, New Jersey, Chicago. So it's pretty cool.
Do you feel like at this point it's primarily through word of mouth, or have you actually like spent any sort of investment on advertisement yet?
So we really haven't like spent a whole bunch of money on advertising, just putting together posts and stuff like that on Instagram, but not really doing any like paid ads or anything like that. So that'll be coming up soon though, because when this last time we went to Honduras, we took I don't know if you know Brandon Leith from CrossFit Liberty Hill.
The name sounds familiar, and I think I might have met him once.
Yeah, so like we took him down there and he filmed the whole trip. And we were over there and took like a bunch of video and content. So he's cutting all that up right now, making videos that we're gonna start posting like on YouTube and Instagram, like IGTV, stuff like that. Basically, just tells our story and kind of shows you um, our process of how we get the coffee beans and stuff like that when we go down there.
Dude, that's awesome. You guys have like your own little like documentary series going.
That's what I'm thinking. I think that's what we're going to turn it into is something like that, where each little cut is going to be with each farmer that we're working with in one of the co-ops. So, and then the last couple of days is just us, kind of sightseeing and stuff like that, hanging out, having fun with the locals and stuff like that. So
Do you feel like there's a certain like audience that you've kind of catered to or targeted more of like just since you've started this thing? Has it been like people within fitness community or just kind of broad um, general public, or like is there somebody that you're wanting to target more specifically?
yeah, so it's always been towards the outdoorsy type, the people that like to get out and go do stuff outdoors, which includes the gym, definitely the fitness people.
Yeah.
And both Hector and I are like doing stuff outdoors, skating, surfing, mountain biking, hiking, camping, like all that stuff. So that's kind of where we're starting to push our focus as far as our demographic. So, but yeah, we're getting a lot of local people just like that though, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. I feel like I mean, that's not only your healthier population for the most part, people that are go-getters, just people that are a little bit um, more likely to get out there and pursue a brand that actually stands for something anyway.
Right, right. Yeah, like our whole brand is our whole logo and motto is stay wild, and that's just being wild, man. Just embracing that wild side that you have inside and going and start a coffee company. When you have the opportunity, not waiting.
Yeah,
Uh, you know, going mountain biking, doing just crazy shit all the time. So those are the kind of people we're trying to go after, and we're trying to portray that. I think with all of the content that we're going to start putting out, it's kind of like how Hector and I like live our lives. Like we're just seat of our pants. Like, yeah, you want to do that? Boom, it's done. Like, let's go. Like, hey, you want to start a coffee company? 2 weeks later, we're in Honduras. At a coffee. So, yeah, those are the kind of people we're trying to market to.
Was there somebody, or maybe, I mean, it could be an individual or a company or really anything that kind of inspired you to really like pull the plug and get this thing started?
Um, I don't know if it was somebody in particular. I just reached a point in my life where I kind of looked and was like, at the job I was at now, which is a great job, love the people I work for, but didn't really see myself doing that for 10, 15 more years.
Sure.
And so I just got to a point where I was like, man, I really want to, create something. And I've got Hector, who's one of my best friends, and he has a very entrepreneurial spirit. So me and him got together and we're like, hey, let's, I got this idea. What do you think about it? And he's like, yeah, man, let's do it. Let's do something on our own and let's create something. So
That's dope, dude.
we're trying to create a coffee community right now. So
Yeah. That's like, I mean, that's probably the most, um, or the thing that you could have the most control of over in your entire life is a small business or some sort of entrepreneurial endeavor, and to actually like pull the plug. Like,
yeah,
sure, there's ideas out there and there's plenty of stuff floating around in the ether, but that's, good or could potentially be really good, but to actually like pull the plug is a huge deal. And so for you to like be in that position, I mean, that's so awesome.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, what am I going to do? What kind of business can I start? Somebody mentioned something about some with those like injection syringes for like Jello shots.
Yeah,
Like selling those on Amazon. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that, man. Like, I don't care about that. Why am I gonna sell that?
right. You're
I
not
had to find
passionate about it. Why do it?
yeah, I had to find something that my heart was gonna be in, because then I can give it the attention that it needs. And so this coffee thing kind of fell in my lap. It just started out as kind of like, oh, I want to go check out a coffee farm, and then I kind of put like two and two together, like, oh, I think we can do this. So
That's so cool. Going from 0 to 1.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
I love it, dude.
Yeah,
What was kind of like, I mean, when you were first kind of getting started and putting all of this together and thinking like how it's going to look, did you have, I mean, what were your thoughts before thinking as far as like what the capacity of this would be? I mean, obviously, like you're up and running now and you
right.
have great coffee, a great community built around it. I mean, you even have like merch now, but like what did you see beforehand and thinking like where it was going to go or what it was going to be versus like what it is now?
Yeah, I did not think it was going to get this big. At first, it was just like, I'm just going to make some side money and it'll be fun. And I'll get probably like a bunch of coffee for free. Like, I won't have to buy coffee again. That's almost like reason enough for me to go into business. But the more because I've never been a business person. Like, I don't know the first thing about business. And
Obviously, you
that's
know
why
something.
yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot of Hector. Hector is a numbers guy, an operations guy. I'm more of like we call myself the dreamer, and he like he figures out a way to make it happen. But yeah, I mean, he's always pushing sales, looking at reports. So he kind of pushes all of that stuff for us. But yeah, I was just gonna have this as a kind of like a little side hustle business, and the more I got into it, the funner it was creating. It doesn't really feel like work, at all.
Yeah.
Uh, and so now I'm like, man, really want to turn this into like a full-time job. So hopefully it's
Dude,
headed
that's
that way.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you keep trending in the way that you are, then I think that could definitely be a reality.
Right.
For like recently and with everything that's been all the crazy that has been going on, first of all, how are you doing? How's the family doing?
Yeah, everybody's good.
Everybody good. I mean, from what I've talked to you and everything, you seem like you're doing well, but
Yeah, everybody's good, healthy. Just going stir crazy in here. I'm tired. I would much rather. It's funny. I was just telling somebody I'd much rather be sitting in traffic right now, like on moped. going to work
You
every
know
day.
it's bad when you'd rather be sitting in traffic.
Yeah, dude. I was just like, I can't do it here anymore. Like, I'm running out of shit to do. Like, I tried to start baking, and I'm not a baker.
Yeah,
So yeah, I tried my hand at baking, but it's just too precise. It's too scientific. I'm more of like, just start throwing shit in there. You can't do that when you're baking, man. It's got to be like to the T.
I know,
And
dude. If you get a little bit too much baking soda in there, then you are
yeah,
done.
you're done. Yeah. So my crust just came out terrible. The filling came out good. I crushed the filling, but I just ate that with some ice cream. But yeah, I'm just like, I don't need to bake. I'll just go buy some pies or something.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but
So
yeah,
with
everything's going. Everybody's healthy. How about you guys?
we're good, man. We're just
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page there with you. We're just like we're getting to the point where like we knew a couple months ago that this was probably going to be something pretty serious. And I mean, we were all like kind of wondering, what exactly this whole thing was and what the long-term effects of this were going to be and what it was going to look like. So we were like, all right, it's probably going to be a couple months that we're going to not really be doing a whole lot of anything.
Yeah.
So we kind of had that mindset going into it, and things kept getting pushed back, and you see, you know, things through the news and emails
Right.
and all sorts of sources saying, we're going to keep social distancing practices in place for another 2 weeks, another week and
Yeah.
a half, and it keeps getting pushed out. So I feel like now, coming up on the summer months, we're kind of getting to the point where we've kind of turned a little bit of a corner,
Yeah.
and hopefully things continue to get better. But we had the mentality that we were definitely going to be just chilling out for a while, but now we're like, all right, ready
Yeah.
to do some stuff.
Right. Yeah. I just find any reason to go outside now, like anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
just I just started skateboarding again. I haven't done that since like middle school. So yeah, I'm just
Nice,
like, yeah,
dude.
I bought a skateboard and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing this again. This is gonna be great. So
I used to skate a little bit back in the day,
yeah,
throw
yeah.
around some kick flips. Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, we'll have to get together soon then and go skate. Go terrorize
Dude,
the neighborhood.
I only have one skateboard right now, and it's a longboard. I don't even have
Yeah.
like an actual skateboard. But
Well, that's
like
what I bought, yeah.
the
I just
longboard I've got is like
yeah.
it's great for just zipping around the neighborhood, and it's a whole lot of fun. Like I get Oso to just pull me like a dog sled, and he'll just
Right.
tear me around all over the neighborhood. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's what I do, man. I just fly around the neighborhood on a longboard that I bought. Yeah,
You
I'm
drink
not trying to
coffee?
go out there and like, jumping curves and grinding on rails and stuff like that. I don't want to I'll end up in the hospital for sure.
Right. Nobody wants to right now. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I've got a lot of friends that are either nurses or doctors, and it's crazy how many people that I've been talking to have just been saying that, like, yeah, sure, all of this is going on, but there aren't any people, any patients that are in the hospitals, in the clinics right now because of, obvious fears of being exposed to this, to
Yeah.
COVID. So, like, all of these nurses and doctors are just hanging around, not really doing anything.
Right. Right. That's nuts.
It's so weird. Like, you don't
Yeah.
think, I mean, obviously there's in certain areas and certain hot pockets throughout the country that are primarily
Right.
located in larger cities and even places that have big industrial complexes. Um, those places definitely have a higher concentration of need.
Yeah.
So like, there's definitely a continuing and ongoing need there for good nurses and doctors, but other places are just like, we're not doing anything. We're just chilling out. And to talk to those people and those friends that I have is very weird because you don't think about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought like all hospitals and doctors' offices are just like overrun right now, but yeah, that's
Right.
not that's crazy.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. It's a strange situation that's going on with, I mean, and we're probably going to see this play out in a couple months or over the next couple months as far as people. There's going to be a huge disparity, I think, of people that are continuing to stay home, stay social distanced, and then there's going to be opposite end of the spectrum. I think there's going to be quite a few people that are like, we need to get out. We
Yeah.
need to expose ourselves and our biology to the surrounding environments that are, I mean, that's how you build up your immunity, is by
Right.
exposing yourself to things continually. So like all of us we might have a pretty decent immune system right now, but it's not an immune system that's ready for fending off viruses.
Right.
So it's going to be very strange to see how that plays out. There might be a lot of other viruses and a lot of other infections that become even more of an issue than COVID. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird ground to navigate, but yeah, strange times.
Dude,
Really.
yeah. Like when just walking around seeing everybody in masks and stuff like that, it's still like can't believe, sometimes, you know, I still am like can't believe this is happening. Like this is
Yeah.
like years, because like you watch the movies, like, you know, that movie Outbreak and shit like that, and you're just like,
Yeah.
that's never gonna happen. Then boom, here we are.
I know,
You know,
right?
yeah, it's nuts, and it's not even like as deadly a disease as like the Outbreak movie, or you know what I mean, where like if
Right.
you get it, you're dead, right? So not to say that this isn't serious, but yeah, just it's nuts, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really strange too. Like, I mean, we don't have a good grasp on the data right now.
Yeah,
Like the data that's out there that is floating around is definitely under analyzed, and we see numbers all the time, right? Like you see graphs and you see
yeah,
just raw numbers on a screen, you know, on the internet or TV. And what do those numbers actually mean? It's like, oh, well, here's our number of confirmed cases, here's the number of recovered cases, all of these numbers. And sure, you can throw out numbers all day long, but what do those actually mean when it comes to actual like analysis of and a breakdown of those numbers? Like
right,
some good data science needs to happen, and that just hasn't happened yet.
right. And I get, you know, you probably just need time for that, right?
Yeah, I mean, a combination of time and then also the right intentions. Like we
Right,
have some really, really good resources. I mean, the United States has some amazing resources, but to actually put them in place and to implement them is a
right.
whole nother story.
Yeah,
So it's like we've got the tools to make it happen, but everything that has happened up till this point, it definitely follows a certain narrative of a virus that is
yeah,
introduced into a society and then has certain outcomes, certain reactions from everybody, and then eventually will become something that is either contained, cured with some sort of cure, or have a vaccine developed that everybody gets the vaccine.
right,
So there's a couple different options and things that could happen, but there's not really enough push yet to actually see what the data analytics and the data science behind all of this really means. Do you think that like local businesses and people that you work with and these industries could potentially continue to benefit, or do you think it's going to be something that kind of patters out?
no, I think they'll continue to benefit. You know, one case for us is, you know, we started doing these home deliveries for local people. I think that's just going to stay. I think we're just going to keep doing it. We found out that people kind of love that, you know, connection with the people that they source their food and coffee and drinks from. So that's definitely one thing that we're going to benefit from is, you know, getting ideas. You know, we're constantly figuring out different ways, different ideas to get coffee to people and whatnot. So I think we're definitely going to benefit from that on that aspect.
Do you feel like the feedback that you get is mostly through like communication that you get on social media, or is it people reaching out and saying, hey, it'd be awesome if there was like a home delivery? Like, how do you get that?
Um, it's you know, we're just copycats. We see other people like, hey, you know, they're doing home delivery, like, hey, we should probably do that. like
Yeah.
we've got some time, like, you know, let's go and do that.
No need to recreate the wheel.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing we do is we try to, you know, for new customers, is, you know, try to drop them a little note, or especially people from out of town. You know, in their package, we usually drop in there a little handwritten note saying, you know, thanks and welcome to the family, and hope you enjoy your coffee and stuff. And
That's
we've
cool.
gotten, yeah, we've gotten several emails saying like, I love that. Like, actually, they emailed us. They went to our website and emailed us and said thanks. And
That's dope.
yeah, we had one customer who it was her order. So it was the last day of the month, and we had already broken our sales record earlier in the month, and then so we set another goal to try to hit by the end of the month, and it was the last day, and we were like probably like, you know, 30-40 bucks away from it, and it was like 6 o'clock at night, and we got an order that put us over the top. And
Nice.
so we dropped a little note in that bag for her, and we gave her a free bag of coffee and said, "Hey man, you helped us reach a milestone. Here's a free bag of coffee for helping us do that."
Dude, that's so cool.
So yeah, she was so excited. She was like, "Oh my gosh!" She said in an email, was like, that's an awesome personal touch, and I was so happy to help you guys out, and that's just like stuff like that. She says just like brings her back. We'll bring her back to our company to buy coffee from. So,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that personal touch goes a long way.
Yeah, I know it does for me. It gets me all the time. Like any kind of like when you feel like you have a personal connection or something like that, it's just like, yeah, it just sucks me right in, because I love being part of a community. Being part of a community, it's like a dopamine for me. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, even if you were to take like a slightly larger company like like Rogue Fitness, right?
Right.
Like they've gotten pretty big. I mean, they used to be tiny. They were running out of a garage in Columbus, Ohio. But like, you know, so many great things start that way. And they've built up this community that's like something I can relate with, you know? So like
Yeah. Yeah.
you could be doing that exact same thing here
Right.
on a little bit smaller scale, and of course with coffee versus fitness equipment. That people are like, they go back and they're like, dude, like those guys at Los Altos, they are like that's cool. I stand for that. That's like
Yeah.
something that I can definitely get behind.
Right.
You know. Do you feel like it's like the association with the fitness community too that's kind of built the community?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, because it's, you know, the fitness community is so tightly wound. You know, they're just like so organized, and people love promoting other people's stuff, especially in the fitness community. You know what I mean? Like we're getting people sharing our stories and all that stuff like all the time, and I just feel like that's just a benefit of being in the fitness community. People love supporting small little businesses like ours.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome.
I think like, I mean, it not only creates or fosters like it's almost like a good avenue to build off. Like
Oh
you've
yeah.
got kind of like a pre-existing thing going on, which like, you know, everybody agrees like you need to be healthy, you need to be fit, you need to practice, you know, good fitness and practice health and all of these things that kind of tie in together. And then to have like another component of that
Yeah.
be supporting what you're already doing,
Right.
is that's super important. I mean, like for anything else, like if you have, you know, regardless of whether it's fitness equipment, coffee, nutrition, whatever, all of these things, like they're vital to your lifestyle and vital to like what you're doing. But creating something that kind of is able to intertwine itself into that community,
Yeah.
I feel like that's got to be from within, you know?
Right. Right.
And like for you having the fitness background that you do and weightlifting and all of these things, like that was like your way to kind of interweave yourself into the pre-existing bigger community. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, man. Because I had access to that community, and so it was just kind of like a no-brainer for us. We were just like, let's get started here. People love, especially in the fitness community, love supporting other members of the community. And number two is it's coffee. Everybody likes to be caffeinated.
Everybody loves it.
You know what I mean? It's like the best pre-workout.
Heck yeah.
So we knew we were going to have an avenue that way. So we started doing like, CrossFit events and stuff like that. And so that's just kind of where it started, and it just kind of grew, man. And it's like slow and steady. It's growing. We're seeing it grow every day. So, and
do you have like any
community people?
Yeah. Do you have like any like idea of what you want to see, or like short-term, long-term goals for growing it?
Yeah, man. So, eventually we want to get into coffee shops around town. Not just our bags and stuff like that, but actual roasting coffee for them that they'll use in their coffee shops, like for those shops that don't roast their own beans. But the long-term goal is to have our own coffee shop, our own brick and mortar or truck, whatever happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the goal, because we feel like our coffee, and especially the coffee from Honduras, doesn't get the respect that it deserves. And so that's what we're trying to show people. Hey, coffee, everybody uses like Ethiopia, Guatemala, Nicaragua, of course, Colombia. Those are all big coffee names, right? You think about coffee, you think of those countries. But I'll put Honduras coffee up against anybody's coffee. I think it's just as good, if not better.
Do you think it's like just you said underrated, but like, is it not being used by as many other companies?
Yeah, man. You just don't, you don't see coffee from Honduras used by, other coffee companies that sell like in stores or anything like that. Or even if you go to a coffee shop, I hardly ever see a coffee from Honduras like on the menu. It's always Colombia, Brazil, Ethiopia. It seems like everywhere else except Honduras. And so when we went down there the first time, we were like trying all this coffee last year, and just amazed by it. It was so damn good. And we're like, all right, there's got to be something wrong with Honduras coffee. Why is nobody selling the Honduran coffee? But we were just blown away by it, and it's so good. But yeah, so it's just, and a lot of people have a preconceived notion that Honduras is really, really dangerous, which it used to be. It used to be really dangerous, 5-10 years ago. But they've done a really good job of cleaning it up right now. And so, it's pretty safe when we go down there. But like any other third world country, you just, be smart.
Yeah.
And use kind of common sense when you're doing things down there. And you'll be fine. I mean, most of the time, a while back, it was the murder capital of the world. And so when we went down there, we asked about that. And they're like, yeah, it's really dangerous down here if you're a drug dealer. Like, if you're a drug dealer, you're probably going to die. Or if you're in a gang or something, you're going to die. But you just come down here and, mind your own business, and don't go into, parts of the country where you're not supposed to be. You're fine. So.
Right. Is your connection with Honduras, like, is that something that you felt like from the start, you were like, this is what we need to target versus somewhere else because it's so underrated?
Yeah, that was definitely nobody else. I feel like nobody else was utilizing that. Well, nobody in the U.S. A lot of their coffee goes to, interesting enough, Japan and Europe are like the biggest exporters of their coffee. So, but yeah, not a whole lot of U.S. So they were happy to see us, and we kind of shared that when we were down there. Like, we kind of want to put, give a spotlight to Honduras here in the States, and just kind of show everybody how good this coffee is. So
that's pretty cool.
The biggest compliment that we get to this day is people that either don't like coffee or will drink coffee but with a bunch of cream and sugar.
Yeah.
And if they're like, I just drink yours black because it's that good. Like, that's the biggest compliment that we can have, and that's the whole reason we got into this, was to kind of share that experience with everybody.
Sharing that high quality taste without all of the other crazy stuff people put in.
Right. Exactly. I don't know. We feel like growing coffee And cultivating coffee is just like cultivating grapes for wine. It's the same, you know, kind of the same process. It's going to be different every year based on the climate uh, uh, and the soil and all that. And you have different tasting coffees based on different climates and different soils. So, but it is like an art form. When once you get it here, you got to roast it to where it showcases everything that the bean has to offer without burning it. Because once you start burning it, it all starts tasting the same, like that real bitter, chocolatey taste. So,
What's like, I mean, are you like consulting somebody that is there either in Honduras or somebody here in the US that kind of has like a professional take on what exactly needs to go into producing the products?
Yeah, like we go down there. We have connections with co-ops, and at the co-ops they have like it's where everybody takes their coffee to be processed, and then it's graded there. So by these like certified graders, we're like certified tasters, almost like coffee sommeliers.
Yeah.
So yeah, they'll go and they'll taste it, and they have like a chart that has like, you know, all these points and stuff that they add to it. And so you know, of course, the higher the points scale goes to like 100, but yeah, so they know what
there's like a full rating system in place.
Yeah, there's a whole rating system, and that's how you decide how much you pay for the coffee as well. And so there's all these people that, you know, put a number on it, and then you kind of figure out, once you get the raw beans, you just kind of play with it and figure out how you want to roast it.
Interesting. I had no idea that there was like an actual way for them to scale, be able to scale the quality of it, and then based on that scale, sell it for a certain value.
Yeah. So like, there's a chart, and you can probably look it up somewhere, but you know, it takes into account like acidity, smoothness, clarity, balance. I've got chocolate, I think might be one, but it's kind of like one of those graphs where you kind of want it to expand out equally instead of going in one direction,
right?
More prevalently than in any other direction. You kind of want it to balloon out like that evenly. And so when you see the chart, it goes like that, you know, you've got a pretty good cup of coffee.
You want it kind of just balanced overall.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool, dude. I had no idea. That, like, I mean, it makes sense for it to just be on some sort of a scale versus having just like, here's your coffee beans, and you don't really know what you're getting.
Right. No, yeah. I mean, it's just like I said, it's just like wine. You know, you go to the wine store or HEB or whatever, and you see there's like a number next to it. So it's the same kind of deal.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, they label it on like pre-pack or coffee that's been packaged too. Is like there's some way to tell? I've never really paid attention.
Nah, not really, man. Because nobody, like, everybody else is like you. Nobody knows that system happens.
Yeah.
So nobody knows about that number except people like us who buy the coffee. So we want to know, like, whenever somebody's like, oh yeah, this is like a 92, then it's like, oh yeah, I really want to taste that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
That's gonna be a really good coffee. So.
Interesting. Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No idea. With the, I guess with like the whole process of getting your product to the States and everything that's been going on recently, have you had any issues continuing to get your supply?
No, because we bought a bunch in our last visit, so we're not in a huge rush to get more coffee. So we're just kind of waiting right now for all this to subside before we buy some more. Because we went down there on this last trip and tasted some really good coffees. One in particular, he only had like 2 sacks of it because it was kind of like he was messing around with it. One of the farmers was messing around with a blend, and I tasted it, and it was just like so unique. And I was like, oh, I want some of that. And he's like, yeah, I only have 2 sacks. And I was like, I told Hector, I was like, we have to buy those. I was like, we need to buy them. I want those. So hopefully we can get those and come out with a new blend.
Nice, dude. That'd be awesome. Yeah. It's always interesting to see, like, there's so many different methods and so many different approaches countries are taking to this whole thing. So like, I
Yeah.
didn't know if like it was difficult to continue to get your product through Honduras, or any sort of trade relations that might be impacting that, bringing anything into the U.S. right now.
Right. No, not yet. So we're gonna probably place the order. We usually place our orders in the summertime, like around June, because the harvest is January to like March, and so those are the harvest months down there. So by the time it's all processed and tested and everything, we it's about June by the time we get it in.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you'll be getting another shipment coming in here within like another month.
Another month or so, yeah, hopefully.
Dude, it's so crazy. It's already like almost June.
Yeah, we're about to come out with our new summer blend.
Nice.
We made a blend that we have the Bella blend that we created. That was by accident, and then it actually came out pretty good. And so we were like, oh, let's mess around, let's make another one. So we put 3 of our coffees together, mixed them together, and it actually came out really good. And that's what everybody's drinking with the cold brew right now.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, we tried it first with a cold brew, kind of like just did 5 gallons, and then we tasted it, and the roaster was like, yeah, this stuff is good. And I was like, well, let's see what it's like, hot. So we roasted some and bagged it up, and it was just like, yeah, this is really good. This is really good.
Oh, damn. So it worked hot and cold.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Like, usually isn't the like acidity typically a little bit higher on a hot roast versus a cold?
Right. Yeah. So it's a little more acidic, warm coffee, hot coffee, than the cold brew.
So that cold brew, you guys are going to keep, or do you plan on keep selling that? It's going to be a regular thing?
People love it. It's really good. And so we're just going to keep doing that. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to mess with that cold brew.
Keep really keep a good thing going.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but we got, so that's going to be our new blend that we're going to come out for, kind of like our summer blend. And we got some new t-shirts coming out too, our summer edition t-shirts.
Dude, sign me up.
I know. Yeah. We just got to pick. We got like 3 or 4 prototypes right now, mock-ups or whatever that we're going to decide between. But I'll send you some, and you let me know which one's your favorite.
Dude, for sure. I'll provide my very limited feedback.
Yeah. So this blend is we're calling it the full send blend. So
full send blend.
Yeah. A little mountain biking term. Hector's a huge mountain biker. Loves it. He's good at it too.
Right? He's always talking about that and posting up stuff.
Yeah. And so we were like, let's come up with a name, and what's a mountain biking term for like, the full send is just like, just go down that hill.
Just send it.
Send it. Yeah, exactly. So.
Dude, that's awesome. I love it. Well, it sounds like good things happening on the Los Altos front. That's awesome.
So far, man, it's going good. We're enjoying it. It's a fun ride, man. Whatever happens with it, it's definitely a fun experience. But yeah, we definitely want to keep this thing going as much as we can, get as big as we can.
Dude, for sure. I mean, if you're having fun, that's a huge plus.
Yeah. All
right, bro. Well, hopefully I'll see you soon and we can catch up in person.
At
May
some
18th,
point, right? It's when the gym opens up.
I know, right? It's May 18th. I mean, that's the date that like so many of these businesses are opening up too. Like, I'm finally gonna be able to get my hair cut. Most of the reason why I'm wearing this hat is because my hair is a hot mess right now. So like, gotta wear a hat.
So my beard was getting out of control, man. Like after a month, and I was like, I just YouTubed it. I went and bought some clippers, and I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to trim this beard and like fade it and all that stuff. And then so I was like, perfect, because I was getting ready to cut it off because it was just getting nuts. It was just like bam out here. I was just like, yeah, I got to do something about this. This is just going crazy.
Dude, it looks good though.
Yeah, man, I did a pretty good job.
I think you did. You might have a double career going on there. Not only a coffee roaster, but also trimming beards.
Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna do a barbershop/coffee shop.
Hey, that's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah, no, it'd be perfect. It'd be perfect. It's trademarked, by the way. So,
dude, yeah, I know, right? You freaking rep the best of both worlds. Love it.
yeah.
All right, dude. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.
Until then, take care. Keep on keeping on. I love what you're doing. And we'll see you soon.
Stay wild, dude.
All right, man. You too.